Well, the guidance is you have to feel different. And you can't feel different while you're looking right at the problem. It's your inclination to focus on it, but you don't have to let it control how you feel. Even though there's a momentum in your habit of thought, realize your entire vibrational attitude is based on what you're focusing on, compounded by someone else's perspective too. In the scenario you explained, when you were in your own vibration, you were more in sync with your desire, facing less resistance because the risks were all yours. You started small and grew larger without getting your business bigger than your bandwidth. It was a more joyful journey. When it got bigger, you attracted a partner not equivalent to your vibration, introducing resistance and risk, influencing you to fall under their worried perspective. To move forward, you can't wish it hadn't happened because it has. The laws of the universe aren't going to change for your desired outcome. Work within these laws by shaking off the influence of worry, blame, and guilt. Reclaim the exhilaration about your business. It was successful once. It can be again. It doesn't make sense for something to be viable and successful in one regard and not in another. Understand whether the dominant influence is success or worry. Know that you are always starting all over again in every moment. You can establish a new point of attraction. You could meditate and clear your vibration to be as fresh as you were in the very beginning. Remember, you get new and then you get old again. You get forward looking and then you get past looking. But with conscious effort, you can maintain a renewed and positive outlook. Well, stop. That's what happens. Just saying that to us. We're just going to read this clearly, and we want to really give you something because everybody relates to it in one way or another. But we really want you to hear this. You stated that with such fervor and factualness. I feel guilty. Almost as if you were making an unequivocal statement that the universe needed to adjust to, and the universe is reacting to that. So a more improved statement could be, I feel guilty and I don't intend to. I feel guilty and I want to release that feeling. I feel guilty and I recognize the downsides of feeling this way. I feel guilty because it's an old habit of mine. I feel guilty, but I know I can form new habits. I feel guilty, but guilt is not innate to me. You know that what guilt is your opinion is different than the opinion of your inner being. You know that your inner being's lined up with the success of your business, and you're lined up with the worry of your business, and so this guilt doesn't feel good to you. I feel guidance. I don't feel guilty. I feel guidance. I feel guidance that this thought is not helping. In fact, I feel so much guidance that this thought isn't helping that I'm not going to think that thought as much anymore. Well, maybe I will, but I don't want it to. Well, at least I'm not going to speak about it. Well, maybe I will if there's enough momentum, but I'm going to look for moments when I'm not flowing that way. In fact, I'm going to focus upon some other things. I'm going to find satisfaction in other areas of my life. I'm going to look for so many things to feel satisfied about that this guilty subject just doesn't have enough airtime within me. I'm not going to let myself feel guilty as much as I've been feeling guilty. It's sort of my propensity to feel guilty. I sort of wear the badge of honor about how guilty I feel. I've been a sort of sacrificial person, and feeling guilty somehow has been working for me out there in the physical, mundane, mediocre, failing world. But I realize that now I'm playing in a different game. I've got success going for me. And so I feel guilty about feeling guilty is because your guidance lets you know that feeling guilty is not productive. So you don't feel guilty about your guilt. You feel aware that it isn't helping. You don't feel guilty about your guilt. You feel aware that you're not moving in the direction of your desire, that you're not in sync with your desire, that you're out there on the raw and ragged edge, and that you're not allowing the influence of source energy to affect you in that moment. That's all. That's all. So what happens when you can't pay your bills and creditors are calling, and there are all these things that are happening? Do you see what you're doing? Do you see what you're doing? You are trying to support the guilt that you feel. Well, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to say that I meditate every morning. Thank you very much. Blah, 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 blah. You keep talking about what you do not want, and you can't get around that. You got to stop doing that. So what occurs when I can't settle my bills? You ask, we respond, first and foremost, avoid discussing it. So I have this reality, Abraham, that I must confront. I must confront this reality. This is a reality that I'm confronting. And we respond, yes, we are aware of that, but you haven't even begun to try. You could discover different vibe about it. Give it a try right now if you can. That's the question, and then you answer it. How do I not carry them? No, that's not the question. The question is, what do I do when I can't pay my bills? That was the question. What do I do when I can't pay my bill? Now answer it. Pay what I can. Keep trying. Work harder. Has it been what I've been doing, though? That's all right, but keep trying. You're under the influence of that, so that's all right. What do I do when I can't pay my bills? Just hear this. What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you can't pay your bills? What are you going to do? You're going to not pay your bills, and you're going to have a choice about how you feel about that. So you cannot pay them, and you can blame her, you can blame you. You can blame whatever you want to blame and get nowhere. Or you cannot pay your bills, and you can remember better times. You can lean toward things getting better. You can't control the current reality because the current reality had momentum coming in. It had momentum coming in, and it is what it is. So you can't control what that is, but you can control, or let's say, curb your response to what is. So I can't pay my bills, but I could meditate. I'm too worried to meditate. I can't clear my mind. I need to work harder instead of meditate. Just keep perpetuating that. But I can't pay my bills, but I can find satisfaction. I can't pay my bills, but I really appreciate this girl that came to play with me. I can't pay my bills. Now, it's even better if you get off that subject altogether. There's this subject that has me worried, and there's all these wonderful things. I can go to Asheville. I can spend some time with fun people. And you condensed all odds. Get in the hot seat and have a conversation with infinite intelligence. I can find the vibration of it. I can acknowledge the reality of the vortex. I can acknowledge that my business, because our business is bigger than it has ever been, because the contrast has made it bigger. And I can acknowledge that when I line up with what it is, it will be more than it has ever been, which was the whole point of the expansion that I asked for. I wasn't mistaken to request growth in the manner I did, because growth was bound to happen. I sought expansion, and I received it in the way that we broadened a bit, but I also got expansion in the form that it brought resistance into my equation, leading me to initiate more rockets of desire, and the vortex version of my businesses grew. And that's a positive thing, not a negative one. And I can keep pace with that, and it doesn't really matter what's going on right now. I'm stable enough. I know what to do. We can work hard enough to keep ourselves stable. We don't have to lose this business. Do I know what to do? I know what to do. But at the same time that I'm working maybe longer and harder and with more clarity, I'm also finding vibrational stability with this bigger business. I can't give up on my dream, but I could give up resistance. We're not asking you to give up your business. We're asking you to give up your resistance. We're asking you to give up your propensity to complain about it or to try to justify where you are by talking about what's going wrong. You see, everybody relative to everything that they have is in a place where it is improving. And it doesn't matter how successful you feel that you are, you could mess it up with the thought, or you could enhance it with the thought. It doesn't matter whether you're a billionaire or a millionaire, or whether you're just starting with a fledgling business, or whether you're talking about a relationship or anything else. It could get bigger. It already is bigger. You could lean toward the bigness of it, or you could lean away from it. You get to choose all of that. And the reason we're talking so strong with you is because, first of all, you represent everybody else, because everybody's doing a little bit of that. But you have a propensity to want to. That's what's going on with you right now. And there's enough about what is that is satisfying. If you got to explain it like it is, then at least look for the things that are satisfying as you explain them. If you're all of this, aren't you? Yes, so the universe won't let you down. And your inner being has your back. Your inner being knows what you want. Your inner being knows how to get you from where you are to where you want to be, but you've got to listen or feel for the impulses. But you won't reach there while discussing the current situation. And that needs not, because the source isn't informing you. We are communicating with you as directly and as audibly as is suitable in these circumstances, and you still are not truly hearing us, not just yet. It isn't because we're not giving it everything we've got. And isn't because we don't know about the absolute success and magnitude of your business. It's because you've got yourself in a vibrational place that is temporary. And every day from this moment forward, you're going to release more of that and allow more of this. Just the way that it all works. And there's going to be a time, not very far from now, that you are going to enjoy or feel satisfaction over the desire that's in your belly, even when it hasn't manifested. Most people have a hard time with that at first. You just want to see it, and then you want to have an emotional response to it. We want you to use your mind to accomplish an emotional response of satisfaction, and then you'll see it. And we never say anything that we don't know to be. We're not pretending that there's something there for you. We know that there is. It's yours to allow or to disallow. When you disallow, you see all that guilt and all that pain and all that discomfort that you were explaining to us isn't about the actual business itself. It's about you pinching yourself off from your own desire. Now we're going to give you the most important statement of the entire weekend. Ready for it? You are the creation, not your business. Yeah, you're creating yourself to be the receiver. The business is just the excuse you use to create you. And that's why it's so upsetting when it feels like it's not working. It feels like you're failing and you're not. You're just running a little longer than is comfortable. That's all. That's all that it is. And can you imagine the euphoria you feel when you meditate and release that for a moment? Even before the business changes at all, you're going to have lots of really good feeling moments, and nothing is going to be visible to you yet because it's on its way down. But when you realize that you're the creation, then the moments that you feel good for me. And someone says, oh, you make a bunch of money today. No, I just feel good. Why? Because I aligned with source energy. What good is that? It's everything. It's everything because my connection to source energy is the propagation, the creation, the allowance of me. I'm the creator of a business. The business doesn't matter. I am the one who creates the creation. I'm the creator of the creation. I'm both the creator and the creation, and the business is just a detail I concentrate on.